I'm sure you've all seen the Odyssey, and now you've seen the Spider-Ussy. But we're going to talk about Spider-Ussy right now.
Spider Mussy.
Welcome back to the Clean Slate Video Club. We meet every single week to review movies, and right now we are going to be talking about this brand new movie, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Most of you have probably seen it. This movie's made $1 billion essentially at this point, but we're going to share our thoughts on it. We have a couple hot takes, maybe a couple mild takes too, but let's get into it. Is this movie all hype, or is it, is there some substance here?
All right. Guys, there will be spoilers ahead. So if you haven't seen the movie, click out now because we are going to be spoiling things that happen in this movie. Also, count how many spider things you can see in our backgrounds. Okay. So here's the logline for Spider-Man Brand New Day. A forgotten Peter Parker lives alone as a full-time Spider-Man until mounting pressure triggers a dangerous change and a powerful new enemy emerges.
Yeah, this is the ninth Spider-Man feature film, if you don't count the animated ones. And if you count Spider-Verse, that's 11 movies? So quite a few Spider-Man movies now, and I think this is, if I'm reading this correctly, the 38th MCU movie, which is crazy.
Wow.
So we have a lot of Marvel content, and this is probably one of the first superhero movies we've actually reviewed in a long time on the podcast. I feel like we've kind of steered away for the most part.
We mostly steered away from superhero movies just because they've all been relatively
bad,
not great.
Fun watches, mind you, but not much to talk about.
Right. Okay. So, first of all, this movie is directed by, how do you say his first name?
Destin Daniel Cretton, I believe is how.
Cretton.
Okay,
yeah. He is what he brought you the beauty of Shang-Chi and Just Mercy.
Just Mercy is a great movie, but his best film is The Glass Castle. If you haven't seen The Glass Castle, you're missing out. Same thing with Short Term 12.
I own The Glass Castle, but I've never seen it.
It's a fantastic
how
movie.
Good can The Glass Castle be with someone like Brie Larson at the helm?
I think Brie Larson's a great actress. Not in every movie.
She was.
But in that movie, she's a great actress.
Anyway, guys, so we're gonna get right into this movie. You kind of, if you know the cast already, or if you're familiar with Spider-Man, then it's gonna be relatively the same people here. The new additions are gonna be John Bernthal. We got Sadie Sink, Florence Pugh making a kind of guest roles.
I would say their first real crossover in a Spider-Man
Mark Ruffalo.
film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of big names here. And I think in some ways this movie really delivers. In some ways it's relatively weak. So, let's talk about it. Acting and performances.
I think overall the acting is on par with the last three movies. Some of it is really good, and some of it is kind of like, okay, I think the issue might be more the script than the acting, in all honesty. But overall, I think, some great acting. I do think in this film in particular, John Bernthal does steal the show. His character's a lot of fun, but also his performance is pretty good, especially some of the more emotional stuff that happens with him towards the end. He does a lot with his facial expressions in this that I think are great. Him and Tom Holland have obviously really great chemistry being friends in real life, so that does come through in this movie quite a bit. I do feel like our usuals of Zendaya and Jacob Batalon, I believe is how you say his last name, is basically the same as they've been in the last few movies. Nothing really new, in my opinion. They do a good serviceable job overall. And then I did like Florence Pugh in this. I thought she actually was she's just been kind of having a good time as this version of Black Widow.
Yeah.
Same with Mark Ruffalo. But our newcomer Sadie Sink, I think her version of Jean Grey is pretty good. I think it's pretty solid, and I think her performance gives me a lot of hope for whatever the X-Men movies are going to be. I don't know what their plans are yet, but I'm kind of excited. This is low-key like a prequel to whatever the X-Men movies are going to be. So if you're a fan of that kind of stuff, I think for me, like when it comes to Marvel, it's equal parts Spider-Man and X-Men in my brain and heart. And so the combo of the two doesn't fully work. That's another question for later. But her performance was great, so I'm excited to see what comes of that. What are your thoughts on the performances, though?
Yeah, I think exactly kind of what you said between John Bernthal and Tom Holland. I think they do really well together. I was actually going to pump up Zendaya a little bit more in this movie because there is a stark difference from how she has been in the past couple of movies, where she was just like this dry but really kind of funny actor.
This felt like character. More adult, perhaps.
This felt like more depression and like something's missing in her life. So when we actually get the start of like the mix of Zendaya and Tom Holland's like their characters starting to mix together, I think more so it's been the build up from the past couple of years of being like, she doesn't remember who she is, and then you want it to happen so bad, but the movie doesn't give you exactly what you want, which I
enjoy.
I did enjoy that, but I think it actually pulled me into the story even more so. Like, even if the like on one, because like sometimes the B story really doesn't matter in a movie. Like sometimes it's just there to be there. This I felt like it was equal parts of like, okay, how can we make more headway in one side or another? So that was kind of, I really liked that. I would say overall there were a couple of moments where, like, let's say Tombstone or Scorpion, like I really didn't love their acting in it.
Yeah,
and
it's a little
I could say this
too much.
Yeah, and so I could say the same about a couple of other instances, but most of, I would say, like those short kind of like, oh, here's what's happening, like when it's catching everybody up in the beginning of the movie, I felt like those scenes were almost like just service to the fans rather than,
it didn't really serve the
depth.
Movie.
Yeah. So anyway, so acting performances, I'm going to give it 3 out of 5.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm probably in the same boat. As far as story goes, this story is one that I quite enjoyed. It's not directly adapting any previous Spider-Man stories from the comics. It is taking from one of the earlier storylines I remember reading as a kid, though. This is for nerds, called The Other, which is where Spider-Man's going through this metamorphosis, and he gets the organic web fluid for the first time in the comics. Anyways, that's slightly in this, and a few other things are mixed in, but I actually really did enjoy the story. I figured out that it was Jean Grey pretty early on before the movie came out, just because everyone was talking about it. I think if you don't know that and you go into this movie, that makes the story actually a little bit more exciting in some ways. But I enjoyed it. I get that the story is kind of a fresh start for Spider-Man because we just got another trilogy. We're on a new director now. None of the other Spider-Man movies have gone past, 3 movies. So this is quite uncharted territory, what we're going to do here.
Yeah.
But I think story-wise, this brings us up to a, Tom Holland Spider-Man was playing high school for so long. So in this version, he's, past college age at this point. He's a little bit older. And all of we have like an older cast now, which is great to actually let them mature a little bit. We have, kind of like, we redo like what you see in the Tobey Maguire, the first Spider-Man movie, where he's like learning to use his powers. We get like a brief mini version of that, since we didn't really get that with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, like where he's learning his powers. That's not really something we've gotten. So we get like a mini version of that, a very condensed version, which is very fun. So yeah, I think overall I enjoyed the story. It felt very comic booky to me. I do think the first act is probably the weakest part of the whole film. And I get it's a lot of setup, and it's a lot of also maybe answering some questions from the previous movie, what's been going on. So I understand like it has to be done, but it really was a hard start for me. I wasn't completely sold until like the second act. Even the dynamic with him and Frank Castle at first, I was like, whatever. Feels forced. But then, by the end of the movie, I'm completely sold on all of these connections, and it works really well for me. But yeah, the first act was a little off, but it kept building and it got better. So I did enjoy the story.
Yeah, I'm going to say...
I will say one side note. I wish we had more proper Spider-Man villains in this. I wish we had more. Like, why is Tombstone in it for like 10 seconds? Like, that was pointless.
Well, so that's what I was going to say is, like, it almost feels like besides Spider-Man 1 and 2, like Tom Holland's versions, we really are just using Spider-Man to set up for next Marvel, like, phases, which is kind of been bothersome to me because it's like, I think some of the best movies are obviously the Tobey Maguire versions, and those are like fantastic, just single villain movies where we have Green Goblin and we have Otto Octavius.
Well, so and you could argue those movies. Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say you could argue those movies are more about Peter's like internal struggle too, and that's what makes them so exciting to watch. And like this movie, you would think after the last one would be about that, like a lot, but it really is setting things up.
Yeah, and so I think the hard part with these is like these productions are getting so big, and I get it. It is a little bit more comic booky to have like a lot of different things go on in the series, but like I don't know. Sometimes it is not a bad thing to just be simplistic and go in. How far can you go deep into character development, but also action between one villain and one hero, and so that's kind of a flaw for me, but not at the same time. I think Sadie Sink is amazing, and I think the story was really fun, and it's exciting setting up the next phase. However, it just gets me sad because it's like, well, one, Spider-Man, we're not going to see Spider-Man for who knows how long, maybe until the next Avengers, so maybe a year or so.
Yeah, and a solo movie, who knows?
Exactly, and that's where it's kind of like, they're already talking about, Tom Holland's like talking about how he's going to pass the baton. I think there's going to be potentially one more Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, I think. And if not, it might happen in Avengers, where he
I think we might get two more.
You think so?
I think they're going to try to finish out the trilogy.
That'd be really nice. I would actually really hope that.
Well, the reason I think that is because Sony is still publishing Spider-Man technically, and they have a lot of incentive to keep doing so.
But we'll see. I mean, good Lord, remember how long it's been since
this one?
Tom Holland. Well, yeah, I mean, this is crazy. Between five years since the last Spider-Man movie is kind of wild.
It is crazy. I kind of wish they would just film like two of them back to back just to knock it out.
Seriously. But it's like these movies are practically like
show.
Marvel production. I mean, like Avengers production level. And so they have to go so big, which is why I don't think it's a bad thing to be simple in some aspects. So anyway, the story overall, I think sometimes it is overshadowed that it needs to set up the next phase for Avengers. And it seems like the last two movies have been a reset for Avengers, or for Marvel, and I think it's actually been a really big hindrance of the Spider-Man movies, because then it feels like they have to do so much, and then we miss out on kind of some good Spidey content. Okay, so cinematography, visuals, and score here. I think this will probably be my highest rating.
Oh, wow.
Don't hate me for this.
I
want to give it a 5 on this.
That's crazy. Okay, expand on this.
Because cinematography in general, we get multiple scenes of him inside the mask and his eyes and where they're going. Cool. It looks so cool. We get some actual like Spider-Man video game type fighting in this.
Yeah, the choreography is amazing.
And that is so cool. The score is really, really good here, and it felt like, I don't know, it just felt like I was playing the movie. And I've done all these things before in the video game, and it's exactly what I wanted. The only thing that I will say, and I think this is where I can talk about it, is the parts where his mask.
Yeah, really Daniel has the weirdest gripe. I don't see it. So you need to explain to people.
I'm going to put up the meme right here. So this is the meme that I saw right before. I will. Right before going into the movie. And it bothered me so much because as it is a real non-CGI suit, like, I don't know, it just looked so odd to me. There was something about it. And the only other visual thing that I hadn't ever really noticed before in the other Spider-Man movies is how short Tom Holland is. Like when he's talking
short
to
king, dude. Let him be short.
The lady cop thinks she's taller than him, and I was like, have we just been used to tall, like 6'1" Spider-Man all our lives?
All these actors for like superheroes are like 10 foot tall.
Yeah, but besides, when him and Iron Man are right next to each other, they're practically the same height. So this was like one of the first movies where I was like, dude, you are so short, especially even standing next to Zendaya. Those are the only two gripes, which is why I can't give it a 5 exactly.
So your visual gripe is Tom Holland's too short.
He's too short, and the mask looks so weird to me.
As a 5'8" man, I resent this.
You are, I think, the same height as Tom Holland.
Dude, we could kiss and it'd be nice. We'd be like, exactly.
That's crazy. Okay, what is your thoughts on cinematography and visuals?
I actually really enjoyed the visuals in this, too. The choreography is awesome. I think we kind of get, like, a different flair to it than we did before. And a lot of it is, like, the video games. So it's definitely a step up from the previous film, even, which had some fantastic choreography still. But this...
Yeah.
We had some great combat scenes, especially with the hand ninjas towards the end. I thought that was the way they handled that was chef's kiss.
Yeah.
And then visually as well, like the way, some of these powers could look bad on screen sometimes. Even in these connected MCU movies, it's not always consistent how they portray powers. So I thought like Jean Grey's powers looked good visually.
Yeah,
they handled
really
that.
cool.
I thought was cool, especially compared to like even the older X-Men movies. I thought it was pretty neat to see this kind of like more powerful but less powerful version of her kind of show up on the screen. And then I think the score was what I expected. It's still not my favorite MCU or Spider-Man score. Actually, my biggest gripe with the MCU is I don't always love the score, because I think of like the old X-Men and Spider-Man movie scores just really get under my skin because they were like from my childhood. I guess these were two now from my childhood, but I don't know. Yeah, these aren't my favorite, but I think overall it was great. Visually stunning movie though, for sure. Especially some of the shots of the city I thought looked really cool. Very CGI heavy at parts, or maybe overly edited, but it looks cool, so I don't really complain. And from what I understand, a lot of the stunts and the costumes and stuff were practical, and you can tell, and I think it made a big difference, even if his head is lopsided like Daniel's afraid of.
All right. Next segment, we got editing and pacing. For me, I would actually say this is where the movie takes a really weird dip in the pacing of the movie. We get like pretty decent action and really quick, like, here's what's everything that's been happening with me, and then we slow down pacing like a screeching halt.
Where at? Are you talking about towards the beginning, or
like kind of when he's doing detective work and where he's on the phone a lot and all these different types of things? I felt like the movie was like, go, stop, go a little bit, stop again, go, stop. And it was just like weird pacing to me until like the final act was where we're like, so I don't know. I thought that this movie wasn't like terribly good on pacing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
but there's a lot of times where I was like, man, I was like, this movie's still going, huh? And I've never really felt that before in a Spider-Man movie.
I think, like I said, the first act was rough for me, and story-wise, but also pacing-wise, I think is a big part of it. The end, the pacing is perfect. It has, just the right amount of room to breathe and also to pick up the pace and be more action-packed. But I did have issues with the way they were handling the plot threads, at least in the edit, because there was like, we'd get just enough of one to be like, okay, yeah, let's keep following this trail so I can learn more about what's going on with the situation of his evolving powers, or more about Jean Grey's background, or more whatever's going on with Black Widow. And then it would jump to a different plot thread, and I'd be like, okay, can we just stick with one a little bit longer? So I almost feel like, for me, we would just get things interesting and then jump to the beginning of another plot thread, and I'd be like, okay, I just want to get to what like is going on here. And I know they're supposed to kind of all come together at once, but I don't know, maybe the way that it was chopped up just didn't work for me. Even like the stuff with like Peter and Ned like becoming friends, I don't know, it felt out of place at that point in the film. I feel like they could have moved that scene a little bit back. I don't know how I wasn't in the writing room, so I don't know what their reasons were, but I feel like they could have made it a little bit more streamlined. So, yeah, it's probably one of the weaker parts of the film, actually.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, now let's get into our overall thoughts and Letterboxd Gooners.
Gooner reviews on Letterboxd.
Goon now. All right. So first
commence
review.
Gooning.
Honestly, there's a lot of 5 stars on here.
I'm
Friendly
sure.
neighbor, more like hello neighbor.
Because he's muscular and hot.
Oh, really? Oh, I see.
He's super hot. And he has honestly, a crop top
on. Some great acting in this one. Loved it. 4.5 stars. Tom Holland, Sarah's Spider-Man hasta que yo tenga 80 años. What? He looks like he's 80 years old? Doing some research after watching it first time made it so amazing to watch a second time. Oh, okay. I felt tears coming about 5 times.
I actually did get
it is pretty good
once, which was crazy.
I did too, which is there was a
I was like, what's wrong with me?
There's a great love story here, and it hurts a lot. Awesome movie, but something tells me Punisher hates naps. Okay, if Spider-Man can have a thick thighs, then so can I.
Dude, he's
5-star review in this
right
movie.
There. It's crazy. This is the most jacked I've ever seen Tom Holland.
Yeah, with great power comes great responsibility. In short, if I'm having a bad day, Peter Parker is having an even worse one. True.
That does bring me to a thought I had is the best Spider-Man movies are when he's miserable, and he's so miserable in this movie. It's great.
It's really bad. That's crazy. This one it's not about MJ. It's not about the Hulk. It sure ain't about losing all your loved ones while protecting the city. It's all about the Mets, baby. Let's go Mets.
Did you see people were mad that he ordered a Little Caesars pizza?
Oh gosh, why? Oh, because he's from New York.
Little Caesars. Who would do this?
That is crazy. That should be my review. Objectively, the best Spider-Man movie, but No Way Home still clears, though. Tom solidified himself as the greatest Spider-Man. CEO was brilliant as always.
Interesting.
This guy says, I can't believe my coworker said that this is better than The Odyssey. That's insane. Didn't know I wanted Spider-Man of Doom and Despair, but more, please.
I saw people comparing his acting in The Odyssey versus this, and clearly they weren't understanding that he was playing different characters. Like he was supposed to be playing like a younger, like annoying child in The Odyssey, whereas in this he's Spider-Man. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. So this one says, I liked when the Hulk did the Donkey Kong Super Smash Bros. Clap move. That was actually really cool. Anyway,
I love seeing Punisher versus Hulk. My little comic book nerd in my soul was like, oh my god. Like, dude. Let's talk about, though, like how freaking massive Hulk gets in this movie. That was literally so sick. This is probably one of the best Hulk movies we've had in years. Because he just shows up in other people's movies. That's how they handle his plots now for some reason.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Can we get a movie, please?
Just like all of a sudden in New York now, being a professor at ESU.
It's literally how they've been building up his plot.
Overall, I think I'm going to give this movie 4 out of 5 stars. This movie is a lot of fun still. It's still nostalgic for me. Every single time Spider-Man is on the big screen, you always want to, you're going to be in there for a good time. So I'm going to still give it a 4 out of 5. Maybe 3.5. 4. I'll go with 4.
It's hard, man. Okay, this is why I try not to rate on Letterboxd superhero movies, just review them, because these are like some of the first movies we watched were like the OG Spider-Man movies and like X-Men and like those were foundational in my life. So if I get too critical, it makes me not enjoy them. So I'm not going to rate it, but I would say my rating is probably the same as Daniel's. So
yeah,
I think it's a great movie.
I'm gonna go. This is gonna be my list of all of the Spider-Man movies.
Okay, hang on.
That have come out.
Let me pull this up.
Let's
do this together right now.
A ranking.
Are we including the animated films?
No, just a live action.
So you're making it easy for me. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
because Spider-Verse is low-key some of the best Spider-Man stuff we've ever gotten.
I'm gonna go worst one. Worst one here, okay?
Okay.
My worst Spider-Man movie is going to have to be The Amazing Spider-Man.
The first one?
I'm going to catch so much flack for that one, yeah.
The first one is crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to catch some flack for that.
Give him the flack down below.
All right, what's your worst? We got to go fast here because I only have
Spider-Man 3. I love it, but hate it. Okay.
Second to last one is going to be Spider-Man 3 for me.
Okay, I need a pen. I'm like losing my mind.
Second to last one for you.
Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Okay. Third to last is going to be The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay. I might catch flack for this one. No Way Home.
Oh, I knew you were going to say it. Okay. Fourth is going to be Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire's first one. It's the fourth worst one.
I'm also going to go with the first one. The first Spider-Man.
Okay. Next, I'm going to go Spider-Man Far From Home.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Homecoming.
Okay. My next one is going to be Homecoming.
And my next one's going to be Far From Home.
Okay. Second best Spider-Man movie that is my favorite, Spider-Man No Way Home.
That's crazy. It's your favorite? It's not even number one.
No, it's second favorite.
I'm going to go... Are we not including the newest film?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Shoot. Yeah, we are.
So I'm going to go Brand New Day next.
Oh, I know. I forgot about Brand New Day now. So I'm going to have to go...
Also, I have Amazing 2 so high.
Amazing 2, yeah, is not mine. I'm going to... Between Amazing 2 and Spider-Man 1, I'm going to put Brand New Day between those.
Okay.
So...
I'm going to go Brand New Day. And then for my number one pick, I'm going to go Spider-Man 2.
2 is my number one pick.
It's such a good... The theme music in the OG Spider-Man movies,
all right,
man.
Guys.
Is it Danny Elfman?
Well, that is going to do it for our Spider-Man Brand New Day review. Let us know what you think. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. I might go see it a second time pretty soon here. Rebecca wants to see it, so
I think I'm going to have a stroke.
We're going to go see it.
I really messed up my list. I'm like rethinking everything right now.
Oh my god. Well,
I feel like the spider totem is going to punish me.
Anyway, okay. Well, guys, we're going to get out of here, but that is the Spider-Man Brand New Day review. Go check it out. If you haven't yet, go follow us on all of our social medias. We're going to be reviewing this month's Alien movies, so that is your movie of the month. So get ready for all the Alien movies coming your way, and be kind, rewind. We will see you next week. Peace.
Peace. Love y'all.